Track announcer Chris Griffin joining you here on Out of the Gate here. Happy Monday morning to you wherever you are across the country or right here on track. Don't forget you can follow me at In the Grandstand on my social media, on Twitter, Instagram. You can also follow at Parks Racing for all of the information that we've got going on. We're pretty busy on Twitter this morning. We're talking about Customer Appreciation Day on December 8th and plenty of items coming up. Wednesday we'll talk about the FS2 show, America's Day at the Races. Looking forward to that as well. 10 races on our card here this afternoon. Going to host by myself this morning, but we got plenty of guests coming your way. We got a nice feature on Haleem Lee coming up a little later on in the program. The main track is fast. Let's get right into it. Start handicapping these 10 races for you. Nice carryover in the Philly Big Five as well. Starts in race number 6. And race number 1, I'm going to give Scoop Dog another chance in here. You take a look at this horse, the number 2. Number 7, we're going to take a look at that one in just a second. But the 2, Scoop Dog, is dropping in class here from a maiden $20,000 race down into this maiden $10,000 level. Goes back to the 2-turn distance here of 1 mile and 70 yards. The 2 is my top pick in here. Should be a little bit more forwardly placed. The number 7, Tequila Made Me Do It, is going to be rounding out my exacta. We're going to take a look at some video here on why I feel like this one completes the exacta. You take a look at this last effort. Tequila Made Me Do It had every chance to win in this race. I mean, you take a look at this run in here. I thought Tequila Made Me Do It was going to run by this runner. You do get Frankie Pennington aboard here for trainer Harold Weiner. The horse has had 12 chances at it, 3 second-place finishes. Just continues to kind of get beat here close to the wire. That's why I had to play against in this spot. Scoop Dog, you know, we'll see if this one does have a chance to get to the victory, to the winner's circle, I should say. Has had a tough time doing it as well, but I just felt like the class drop from maiden 20 versus the class drop, or staying at the same level in maiden 10, that gives the number 2 the edge in race number 1. We move on to race number 2 in here. Let's take a look at those top picks. The number 8 horse is going to be my top selection towards the outside. And when you look at this field in here, the number 8 Gypsy Janie, Joe Taylor, first off the claim. Paco Lopez will be aboard for the ride. An outside post in here should have some good tactical position. Paco Lopez coming over here to Parks. It looks like he'll ride another few weeks here, another month or so. He continues to put these wins together. 5-2 on the morning line, just a touch short in this spot, but the number 8 Gypsy Janie with an outside post, I feel like, is the top pick in here. We're going to get into race number 3, talk about some of the sequences, another pick 4, but let's first hear about the Parks Racing mobile app that's available now.
Coming soon, an enhanced Parks Racing mobile app. The improved Parks mobile app will feature biometric login through fingerprint or face ID. View wagering information before building your wager. Customizable viewing options. Hands betting and transaction history. Helpful tips. And much more. The enhanced Parks mobile app, now available.
Race number 3 is going to kick off a pick 4 sequence in here, 50 cent minimum. The number 4 Nimble Beast is going to be my top selection. Closed with a rush last time out. Now comes in first off the claim. We'll see if this one does get to the winner's circle going this 2-turn distance. The number 5, that's 1-2 Kid, and we're bringing you a new item in here. It's called Connections Quote. Got a chance to catch up with the Menta Racing Stables. Here's what they had to say about the number 5 1-2 Kid who's in this race. We are really thrilled with his development, and we feel that his last couple races have been great efforts. You go back and look at the last 2 starts for this horse. 3rd last time out over the turf, then an off-the-turf event, finished 2nd beating a neck behind Stonegate. Always tries his hardest, love his versatility with the turf and dirt, and he runs well on an off-track. Going to catch a fast main track here today. Ruben Silvera, the leading rider. He's got a great feel for the horse. So Amenta Racing Stables, they've been very happy with Jamie Ness and the training job he's done here. You get Ruben Silvera back aboard. I'm going to play this one underneath. Has just been kind of settling for those minor awards, 2nds and 3rds. So 1-2 Kid, one to keep an eye on there. But again, thank you to Amenta Racing Stables for their input on their runner in today's 3rd. Moving on to race number 4. I like this one quite a bit. Noontime Gem, first off the claim here, Jamie Ness. Inside draw, going the mile and 70 yards here at this 7,500 non-winners of 4 distance, or non-winners of 4 level, I should say. A horse like this, 36% move. Draws the rail, needs some tactical position, but there's some horses in here that have not seen the winner's circle in quite some time. When you take a look at a horse like this, Leading rider, Jamie Ness. We just talked about those connections on 1-2 Kid. I play against them in race 3. I'm on board here in race 4. They're the top choice, the number 1. Race number 5, tough one here because Burano was going to be my top selection here in scratch. So that changes things up pretty significantly in here. Fancy Philly will give this one a shot here, the number 9 towards the outside. I think you can spread in this race. The blinkers do go on, might show more speed, more forwardly placed. A 2-year-old filly by Bulls Bay. We'll see if she can improve here in another start, but this one's wide open now. I thought Burano was going to be a heavy favorite. Maybe you catch some value there in race number 5. And then we go into race number 6. It's going to kick off the Philly Big 5. Nice carryover coming into this afternoon. $34,919.88. It's a tough sequence in here. There are some scratches in that 10th race. I'll have full scratches and changes coming for you in just a bit. But race number 6 at 6 furlongs in this an optional claiming event, this is just a tough one. I'm the Talent. I think you'll get something close to that 5-1. At least I hope you do. The number 3 in here was on the front end for Scott Lake, got beat by the stablemate. We're going to take a look at that run. This horse had shown some really good gate speed in that last start, had drawn the rail. Look at that price. This horse was sitting at a huge number in there. Was up to, what, 24-1 in that spot. Horse finishes fourth, beaten 3rd. Had 2 very subpar efforts leading into this effort. She's a little edgy. She can go pretty much anywhere. She might tackle some stakes competition lately, but you see that purple cap there, I'm the Talent. If she can be forwardly placed in this spot, a 5-year-old mare hasn't won in 2021. That makes me a little nervous here, some pause for cause, but I do think that she can show more speed in this race. She'll be forwardly placed. She's got a better post as well, so I'm the Talent, going to be the top pick here in today's 6th race. It does kick off that Philly Big 5. It's a nice sequence that'll always be coming your way with that big carryover over $34,000. But we got a chance to catch up with trainer Haleem Lee. You know, it takes a lot of work here on the backside, whether you're a small stable, whether you're a big stable. Every horse needs a specific amount of care, and we got a chance to follow trainer Haleem Lee and his entire team on a race day. So big shout out again to the TV crew, and let's take a look at that feature that we did with A Day in the Life with trainer Haleem Lee.
At Parks, we race year-round. There's no days off. That means a trainer's job is never done. This is A Day in the Life with trainer Haleem Lee. Haleem Lee began his career in Jamaica. He made his way to Parks and stables here full-time. We got a chance to hang out with Haleem and his team on a race day. He had 2 new horses in the barn set to run that day.
Okay, I got Get the W, new recruit just got claimed, and I got a Cha-Cha, just privately bought. There are 2 new recruits. They're in fairly tough spots, but we'll see what will happen because they're new horses. I don't know much about them.
Haleem talks about what it's like in the morning on race day.
Well, our team is very early. We get here like 4:30 in the mornings. We do get the stalls done, the water buckets, everything. Get the horses ready, who's going to the track. Horses trained, we do what we got to do. We ice them, we feed them. Then that's practically it every day.
It's a total team effort for Haleem and Lee Stables on the day of the race.
Most of my team members, we all know each other from Jamaica. Back in Jamaica, came in the Spark. I got my big son with me. I got Richard Thompson. That's basically us right now because we're like a small team right now. We got a small string of horses, open to grow. But that's who we with right now.
There are so many details to keep track of on every single horse.
Well, at least the feet tub's got to be clean. That's the first thing. And they got to come out and they got to walk good. They got to be sound. They got to be happy. That's the major things.
In the paddock, the preparations remain the same. Haleem talks about his process.
Well, you got to make sure you do everything right. That's the test day. You got to make sure the saddles, everything is perfect. You just look at the horses, make sure your horse is okay, and you tell the jockey the game plan you got. If it's a leader, break and go. If it's a closer, come when it's in the straight.
After the horses leave the paddock, it's time to watch the race and see what happens.
So it's less than a quarter mile to go and has a 4-length cushion. I Saw It All is trying to make up the late ground. I Love Charlie Brown down towards the inside. Ha-Cha-Cha down the far outside of the racetrack. Lazaretto has a final 1/8 of a mile to go. I Love Charlie Brown, Rising Storm, and Ha-Cha-Cha. It's all Lazaretto inside the final 16th. Lazaretto Made that move and opened up, and it was over. Lazaretto wins it well. Ha-cha-cha here for second, rising.
After the race, Haleem talks to his jockey and gets feedback on his horse.
Well, whatever happens in the race, the rider got to tell me. If there's a problem, he let me know. If there's no problem, he let me know too. But I want to know what happened in the race.
You can't win every race, but when they do, I asked Haleem about that feeling.
It's a wonderful feeling. Got the rider, and just be happy.
Haleem wants to win, and he's got one saying when it's time to race.
No mercy.
Thanks again to trainer Haleem Lee and his entire team for letting us hang out and follow some of his runners going that day. Keep an eye on Haleem Lee, not only towards the end of this year, but into next year as well. Smaller stable, but again, they continue to just get a few more runners here and there, and they are competitive. You saw Hachacha there with a nice second place finish on that day. Let's get into the late pick 4 sequence here as we continue. Track announcer Chris Griffin joining you here one more time on Out of the Gate. The number 1 in here, I feel like some improvement can happen. This is a maiden race in this one. 6 furlongs, big drop in class here down to the maiden $10,000 level. Debuted in a maiden special weight. Does that give me concern? Of course. Has the rail draw. By not this time, a 2-year-old filly. Dexter Haddock aboard. Maybe they just feel like this horse fits a little bit better at the maiden 10 level. I think this one can improve. If you look at some of the runners in this race, some of them have had a few chances at it. Have we seen their best? Maybe not. But I do think you could see some improvement on this class drop for the number 1. Time altering. If we can catch that 6-1, I think that offers value. Might be a race where you kind of spread a little bit. Texas Tart, another one. I like this handicapping angle. You take a horse off of a surface that it just didn't show much at, gets on the main track. Courtney Gallardo aboard here for Ed Coletti Jr. The number 7 Texas Tart. I think this one's going to outrun her odds. She's 10-1 in the morning line. She might float up just a bit higher, and she's got a long shot look there moving to the main track. Race number 8 at 6 furlongs here, a $25,000 claiming race. Love on Fire is going to be my top selection in here, and this horse has got speed. Mariah Montoya picks up this runner here first off the claim. And when we're taking a look at this race, is this horse going to be able to put those efforts back to back? That's the big question in here. The number 3 is going to be my top choice, and then you see the number 7, Cute Face Chubby Waist, is my second selection in this spot because the horse has been settling for minor awards. We got a chance to catch up with M3 Racing Stable, Jeff Maddie and his entire team, and got a chance to grab a couple quotes from them, and it's Connections quote time again here on Out of the Gate, and this is what they had to say about the number 7 who will run this afternoon. And they felt like, she's training well. She always does for trainer Brandon Culpin here. You get Angel Rodriguez who ships in for the ride. She goes about her business every time we lead her over there. Now, she has been running at Penn. She's been showing her better form there. 3 wins at the distance. You get the familiar connections to come on over and ship with her. They're a little concerned about first time over the park surface. She struggled to touch at the Timonium Oval, so we'll see how she does ship over here. I've got her placed in the second position as far as my selections. We'll see if she can round out that exacta. I think Love on Fire is in front. We'll see if the number 7 can bounce back and respond and get a big win here for M3 Racing Stable. Big shout out and thank you again to them for their quote this afternoon. Get into the late double, taking a look at race number 9, 1 mile, another competitive race in here, an allowance event. And you take a look at the number 4, Little Bit of Charm. That horse is out of there, scratched out of this race, and I thought was going to be a really, really big horse to take in this spot. 3-6-8 for me. This race is wide open now. We'll have more coverage on this one, paddock preview, as we get towards race number 9. But this one now, Stand By You, that'd be a tough favor for me to take, and I'll give reasons why when we get into paddock previews during our live show. Race number 10 to conclude things, 1 mile and 70 yards in here. There are a few scratches, 12-5. Claiming race in this one, and I'll go back to Jamie Ness in here. I think first off the claim, you take a look at a horse like the number 8 in this spot. Our man Luke, Ruben Silvera, Jamie Ness claims off of a 3rd place finish. I thought it was a pretty good effort. The horse had been running at Monmouth Park a few times, debuted here at Parks, gets claimed off of that effort. Sounds a lot like Noontime Gem, who runs earlier on in the card. We'll see if this move works for the Jamie Ness barn and they go 2 for 2 off the claim. I know some folks out there in social media like these types of runners here. Tom and Tom, I'm looking at you, but they like this angle. Jamie Ness off the claim, right to the winner's circle. You're going to catch 9-2 on that morning line. So if you can get that value here, there are some scratches, and again, I'll have full scratches and changes for you coming up here shortly. But if this horse can stay at a decent price, might go favored in this spot with those scratches. The number 8, Our Man Luke, will be one of the main rivals there in race number 10. A nice carryover in the Philly Big 5. 10 races coming at you. We race tomorrow at 12:10. Wednesday, we've got a special 12 o'clock first post time as we're on America's Day at the Races on FS2, so make sure you join us there. Don't forget, you can always tweet me at In the Grandstand, tweet at Parks Racing. We'll have another show coming up for you next Monday with some more great features right here on Out of the Gate. Enjoy this week of live racing at Parks. Join us for the conversation and get involved and enjoy this week at Parks Racing. Good luck.